Alchemist Astrologer, and this is your inner goddess reading for Virgo Sun, Virgo Rising, and Virgo Moon. So, my beautiful Virgo goddess, what are you thinking? Are you having self-supporting thoughts or a self-defeating inner dialogue? You have the Six of Cups and the Six of Wands. So a lot on your mind is tied to the past. There may be a sense of nostalgia. Maybe it connects to your childhood, old friends, old lovers, exes, the one that got away. This is about having a sense of goodwill and the seeds that you've planted in the past and the fruit that bears from those seeds. So there's some recognition about the past. You have this Six of Wands, which says that perhaps some kind of effort that you've been putting in is going to pay off for you. The good deeds that you've done in the past, that karma is going to come back for you. Some doors, opportunities that you thought were closed, that you considered to be over, may now reopen. So in some cases, you may be getting some kind of recognition, some kind of success. You're in the spotlight, and you may feel a sense of empowerment about that. Again, this is based on your own effort. So you could be receiving an award, a nomination, some high visibility. Maybe you're taking on a leadership role, or you're connecting to people who are leaders, people who have influence and that can open doorways for you. So you may be following someone in charge, or you may be the person in charge. This is a time where public opinion can be a make or break factor with regard to your popularity. So maybe you're someone on the internet, or maybe you have a following. So there's recognition about your past. Hopefully in a good way. Hopefully you're not clinging to the past, living in the past. Again, you may be reviewing your childhood, old relationships, old friends, people who feel like family. There's recognition of climbing to the top with the help, aid, and support of others. So this is a time for you to listen to advice, suggestions, constructive criticism to get further ahead. The more you do that, the higher in rank you can possibly rise. The less so in doing that, the less enjoyable your claim to fame may be. And you may find that, in fact, not recognizing, how you got to the top can hurt you in some way. You may also be in a position where somebody is lording their power over you. They're riding high, they're sitting pretty, or you have a memory of that. But again, this is some kind of recognition of the past, and with double sixes, there's some benefit involved. But you're going to have to dig deeper, and maybe that's why you're reviewing the past, because this is about trying to sort out what it is that's really bothering you. What's at the source of your unhappiness? Or trying to find answers, digging beneath the surface of a situation to find the truth, the essence, the core of something. And maybe you have to explore the past to do that. Maybe you're reconnecting with others. Or again, maybe you're digging deeper into those connections to look at, what that has yielded for you. Now, what's going on with your body image? Are you caring for yourself? Are you comfortable in your own skin? Or are you body shaming? Are you dissatisfied? Are you reaching for an unattainable beauty ideal? Or do you have a distorted view of what beauty is and self-satisfaction? You have the Queen of Pentacles and Magician. So, these are good cards. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles is a very sensual card. Maybe this represents you. It could be another Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this queen are important. This is a queen who is a nurturer, and she has a very motherly nature. So your role as mother, or your connection to a mother figure, or your own femininity may be very important right now. This is about growing, nurturing, and seeing some tangible results. So it's your ability to produce. The Queen of Pentacles is focused on fertility. She's managing, she's organizing, she's planning, she's taking care of business. She's taking care of her resources because she wants to see the fruit of her efforts, whether that's in her home, her environment, her body, her business, her passion. So this can be a time where you're very nurturing to yourself. You are taking care of your body. You're thinking about what you put into it. Maybe you're focused on exercising. You're getting organized as far as your daily regimen. With the Magician here, this says you have everything you need. You've got a lot of charisma, initiative, and there are opportunities for you to grow something. Maybe to better your health, better your image, connect with your body, get in touch with your sensuality. Now, negatively, the Queen of Pentacles is afraid that she can't produce. Maybe she's not using common sense. Maybe she's not taking care of business. She lets her body go. She lets herself go. She doesn't take care of her responsibilities or her obligations. So you could be turning your back on your abilities, your power. Now, the Magician says that you do have all of the resources that you need, and that opportunities are coming your way to establish yourself as far as your emotional health, the way you feel about yourself, your body. This is also effective communication that may be important. How you express yourself may have a bearing on your body. Could also be you're receiving some support. Could be financial support. Could be wisdom, information, expertise that enables you to have a healthier circumstance. Maybe you're connecting to a doctor or somebody who has some special knowledge or skill. Now, the Queen of Pentacles says that you should be eating a mineral-rich diet. That is what is suggested. Try to eat organic. Try to focus on things that grow out of the earth. The Magician says that maybe you have an overactive mind that tends to affect you physically. You may be dealing with learning difficulties, memory problems, could be issues with your breathing. Your mental state has a real effect on your body. And again, you may be connecting to doctors, specialists, someone with some technical expertise. You have to be careful of your thoughts and your communication, and how that affects you physically, how you feel about yourself and what you look like. This is about getting answers. So you may be seeking answers in areas that affect you as far as health or beauty. You may be tapping into your own power. Maybe you are helping others with your expertise about that. So it's about your resources, getting some answers and establishing yourself, growing something as far as your health, your emotional state of mind, how you feel about your ideas of beauty. And this says hang in there. You know, things take time to grow. You plant a seed, it doesn't, bear fruit immediately. So this is about the ability to effectively use your power, or maybe even connect with those who have power to give you, so that you can establish something, grow it, see some kind of results. The advice is to hang in there. So, maybe perseverance. You have to be consistent in your efforts, and that means you have to plan, to organize, to take into consideration, to take into stock what you're doing, how you're doing it. So hang in there, Virgo. Now, what affects your passion, your creativity, your dreams? How are you nourishing yourself? You have the Lover's card, and the Two of Swords. For some of you, there may be a strong tie to a Gemini person, but if not, you've got two cards here about choices, partnerships, collaborations, and making important decisions. Decisions where there's some measure of uncertainty. You may feel conflicted about these partnerships. You may be at odds with yourself, or you may be in a situation where you are actually at odds with someone else. Or maybe you're in the process of, negotiating. You're trying to work out some details, and maybe you're the middle person between two other people. You could also have a dilemma where you're dealing with some form of a temptation, but whatever it is, you're at a crossroads, and there's a choice to be made that leads to a divergent outcome. So it's important that you consider carefully. Now, this is a time where, again, you may be at the peak of popularity, and maybe that is the dilemma. That becomes a problem. People are wanting your time, your energy, your knowledge, your expertise. And these connections are enjoyable. In some cases, maybe they're social. They're taking you away, though, from your intended goal. And as pleasurable as they are, they keep you from, hitting the target. So it's important that you're aware of your time. It's important that you're aware of who you connect with, what alliances you form. Are they positive, or are they self-defeating? Are they constructive alliances? Do they work against you? So there's some uncertainty. Maybe you need more information, or you're waiting to see how a partnership unfolds. You're sort of feeling things out. You may be waiting for the tide to turn in a situation. But there's an important choice to be made. You're at a critical juncture. Maybe this is about a creative project, your artistry, your communication skills. And whether you're actually actively applying yourself, or you are exploiting your own talents or other people by trying to use your charisma to get over. So this would be style over substance. So you have some important decisions to make that you seem to be grappling with. And again, it's time for you to have some very honest discussions. It could be that in the effort to people please, you actually compromise yourself or your vision. So you're going to have to make some important choices about how much you want to give in and where your authentic self lies in a collaboration. You also have ask for it. So there's a choice to be made. Maybe if there's a dilemma, the choice is to join forces. Maybe you need assistance, you need help, or there's something that you need from partnership. So it's time for you to ask for it, and ask for it in a way that's open, honest, and direct, rather than playing games or trying to charm your way into something. The decision should be to ask for what you need. Now, what is your strength? This is your goddess magic. This is the way you're going to manifest, not only for yourself, but for other people. It's the gift that you share with others. You have Temperance and Queen of Wands. For some of you, there could be a strong tie to a Sagittarius, an Aries, or a Leo. But for others of you, this is about using that innate magnetism of yours without exploiting others. It's about trying to steer matters your way. And the way to do that is to compromise, to meet in the middle. You're going to have to look carefully at compatibility issues, finding the middle ground, because in some cases, maybe there's been some excess or some procrastination. And so it's time to connect. Maybe you're getting with people who have a lot of social pull and influence. They can promote your cause. The Queen of Wands is very passionate, very intense. She is comfortable with her passions, her desires, both physical and in the external world. She's very protective of those that she cares about, and she's socially well connected. So you may need to form an alliance with somebody who can further your cause, or you may need to compromise in order to steer a matter your way. This is about getting attention, recognition, that you deserve. And the Queen of Wands can usually pull off a lot. Even when she pushes boundaries or buttons, she's so magnetic that she's able to do some things that perhaps others are not. So this is about also knowing the power of restraint, perhaps moderating some of your stronger passions or impulses. Because the temperance can mean that you need to recognize when you're pushing the boundary, when you're going too far. There's some excess, some extravagance, whether that's emotional or financial. You may be doing things that you regret, or you may say something or purchase something or go just a little bit too far. So this is steering your matters your way. Your magic to manifest is knowing how and when to wield your influence for the greater good, to be direct, to be honest. This is another card about speaking frankly, especially if you need to ask for something. So maybe you need to search for answers, dig deep, hang in there, and perhaps you'll get what you want. This is about compromise. You also have start over. And maybe that's what the compromise is all about. Because it's about seeking attention and recognition, and sometimes if you go too far, you can rub people the wrong way and actually undercut the cause that you're seeking. So this is about starting over, going back to the drawing board, especially if, knowing that there is a plan in place and mobilizing around a particular plan. This may mean that, there's some give and take with regard to that. If when you're working in a collaboration, you have to compromise, and you have to recognize whether you are compatible with somebody. You have to find that right mix. So I would say this is another card about important choices to be made, about not putting something off and dealing with it directly. You want to expand your thought, your thinking. You may be looking at your belief system as well. And it may be time to start over in some area. But that is your gift, the ability to compromise and be willing to steer matters your way, even if it means going back to the drawing board and coming up with a better plan. Now, your lesson in love in relation to yourself or others is, I take my time to reveal the sweetest secrets. So again, this is about not pushing the agenda. It's that slow reveal. Maybe that's the way you gain a following. You don't put it all out there immediately. There's a sort of slow seduction where in a relationship or with the public, you draw people in by knowing what to do, what to say, and accordingly, what not. Timing is everything. So this is about taking your time and approaching things in a rhythm and routine that feels good, authentic, and right for you. Not being pushed by others by what's popular, what's in demand, or simply to please others. This is about doing something in your own sweet time. And, you may have to respect that of others rather than trying to push an agenda. Now, the archetype that you're meant to embody during this period, the goddess archetype, is Mama Quila, or Kia, the moon. Okay, let's see what she's all about. Mama Kia, the Incan goddess of the moon, presides over the power of cycles and seasons. The moon rules the night sky, returning full 13 times in a year. The ancients marked time by the moon to know when to plant, when to harvest, when to store food, and when to celebrate fertility. Right now, you are invited to see what is familiar and decide whether you need to improve on it or leave things as they are. The answer to your inquiry can be found in the timing of things and the cycle you're in. You can apply the idea of natural cycles to relationships, creative projects, personal growth, and more. If you are honest with yourself, you will see there is no way to control these cycles, only to use the creative energy they offer to help you. If your relationship is unclear yet brimming with potential, you might turn to the new moon energy that shows up in the spring cycle of life. In that case, you just need to allow the relationship to grow naturally and be clear in your intentions. When your outer world seems to be slowing down, with obstacles rising up and temporarily blocking your every move, do not put up a resistance. Instead, take advantage of the need to rest and recalibrate your intentions as you wait for the cycle to change. No matter what, like the cycles of the moon, there is divine order in everything that is happening in your life right now. Once you know this, the goddess Mama Kia welcomes you to her divine moon dance of co-creation. You know, what's interesting about this is that need to see the familiar, to dig deeper. And there's a recognition of the past, doing a review of all that has come before. And this is also tied to this card, taking your time, knowing that there's a time and a place for everything. So again, rather than pushing an agenda, going with the flow and operating in your own time frame. Now, the last message from the universe is, my fearless freedom lights up the world. So perhaps, again, that ability to be free, to act in accordance with your own feelings, being authentic to who you are, is the light that you bring. Now, the underlying energy is this Three of Cups and make an offer. So this is about joining forces with others. It is collaboration. Maybe social engagements, maybe there's cause for celebration, collaborations with others. This is about heartfelt exchanges, appreciation. Maybe you need to make an offer in order to connect with others in some form of collaboration, whatever that may be. This could be also about getting information, making an offer based on the information you've been given, or you perhaps offering important information, because this is a time of exchanges and you're going to be receiving information that is important to your path, but you're also going to be receiving information that may just be trivial. It could be fluff, gossip, rumor, especially if you're in the spotlight or the public eye, or trying to gain some form of popularity, taking on a public role, being a leader, gaining some kind of position, moving up in rank. So information and the people that you connect with, your social network, is going to be very important. So those exchanges with others are going to be important, and your ability to discern fact from fiction. What is the real truth, or what's just a distorted version of the truth? So you could be dealing with gossip or embellishment or stretching the truth. So this is a time for you to be very mindful, to take stock of what you've heard and carefully turn it over. Dig deeper before you invest in it. Also be mindful of what you say. Take your time before you reveal something, before you put it out there. So, you have this review that you're doing of partnerships. There's probably an opportunity on the horizon. It may be to travel, could be for a job offer, it could be to form an alliance, to separate from one, it could be to prove your point or to clear yourself in some way. But you will have to have a vision to go after. And you will have to trust your gut about what is appropriate for you. What is the limit? How far can you go? How far can you reach? Because if you overshoot the mark, you may end up getting a reality check. Your ego could get crushed. So this is about knowing what the facts are before you act. Before you act on mood or emotion or your anger or false information. It's about knowing the truth and then trusting yourself to make the right decision. Because if you don't trust yourself, others will sense that and they'll play on it and they will exploit you. You will be vulnerable. You have three majors in this reading. And so you have some lessons here. And the lessons are about taking the initiative. The Magician says that you have to be a self-starter. Opportunities are there, but you have to have the confidence to act on them, to connect with higher ups if necessary, to effectively communicate your desires, and not allow your impatience to get in the way, to get frustrated where you actually cut off opportunity. The Lover's card says you've got a lot of magnetism at your disposal, but how you use that can make you very popular, or you can come off as, a flake who is merely saying the right words with nothing behind it. So it's also about exploitation and knowing when you're exploited by spreading yourself too thin, being inauthentic and not your truest self. And the Temperance card says you're going to have to practice some patient self-control, some restraint, some tolerance of, your views and those of others. If you're challenged, you're going to have to be open to the other point of view. You're going to have to compromise, because if you don't, you could very well make a misjudgment. When you're excessive, you go too far, or you procrastinate and wait too long. But this is a very positive reading. You've got a lot of sixes in here, and sixes always denote benefit. So there's great success in your ambitions. You may be receiving some public acclaim. There's the recognition of something you've done in the past, and perhaps making a choice or partnership that allows you to steer matters your way. There's a focus on work and productivity. With the sixes here, it means that, you're regaining some form of equilibrium after you've experienced something disruptive. And perhaps it brings a welcome evolution in your ambitions that affects you emotionally. This is a lucky time frame for you. This is March, April, May. So take advantage of it, because with the sixes, there is benefit, but this isn't lasting gain. It's a timing issue that says, get it while it's good.